Hey everyone, got a fun piece of kit for you here. This is from Ghost Concepts. Darnell reached out to me and said, hey, lockpick cases are perpetually something that I hear you've talked about in the past. And it's true, I've been very dissatisfied with a lot of lockpick cases over the years. He's got a new one called the Finch case. I was like, yeah, it sounds cool. Like, show me what you're making. I thought he was going to send me photos and stuff. He's like, well, I just want to send you the case. Check it out. Put it, tell me, put it through its paces. I want an honest feedback. So that's what you're going to get. Obviously, full disclosure, like, bro sent them to me. I will probably keep using them, though. I like the one. Oh, you know what? We're going to turn one into a giveaway. If you guys know about this already, right? I'll throw the link at the end as well, and it's down on the What's It. But you sign up for the giveaways. I am behind. Some of you are going to get some emails from me from like a couple months ago of stuff that I literally drew your names and I haven't followed up with you yet. So I'm going to get a flood of those emails going out in a minute. But yes, if you're in the drawing, you only have to sign up once. You're good forever. And that's going to be the giveaway this week, one of the cases you're about to see. Let's see what they've done with it and why I think it's better than a lot of the ones on the market today. Indeed, lockpick cases. Many of you over the years have seen this one. This is mine. It's a chunky boy. I've got a lot shoved in there. But in and of itself, this is, in addition to just being my absolute favorite case, it is thin. That's the main virtue I love about this case. It is thin and flexible and bendy, right? It is just one ply, beautiful leather. I have added and re-added and remixed elements of it for years, ever since it was given to me by Ed. Many of you may remember Ed from Bullet Lock, if you're an old head around the lockpicking scene. Yeah, so this is more than just a pick case. It is a variety of service tools and other things that I use daily on the job. If that's not your jam, if you want a thin pick case, well, a lot of you are familiar with cases kind of like this, right? You've got a little bit of a flap action, kind of a keep your picks in where they belong, but not a lot of room for a lot of other tools. And that's fine. I'm a fan of constrained conditions where it forces you to choose exactly the picks you want, not the ones you don't. I do like that it has a little card pocket, obviously, if you're going to carry something like a DDC in there. But something that, let me pull that out to prove what I'm about to tell you, that I've never liked about a lot of cases is that they're stiff. Like, what's going on here? I don't know if there's a liner of plastic in there or what. A student had, he didn't really care for this case. He left it with me after a class when he got one of ours. And yeah, I understand it's a neat idea. Like, I want my picks to be nice and flat, but I've never understood why things have to be so, like, this is not meant to stop ballistics, is it? Why are you making things like they're armored? Those sort of heavy-duty, stiff panels also make pockets really tight. So if you have picks with very thick handles, like these Jimmy Long's picks, which are tremendous, by the way. If you're not familiar with Jimmy and his work, I really think you should check it out. But I can get like 3 picks in here, or again, if I'm using a Peterson kind of design, I could get a couple Petersons in here. But you can see, like, these are some tight pants going on right there. I really, for that reason, love the design that came out from Ghost. This is their Finch case. So let's take a closer look at this. First of all, as you can see, absolutely flexible, right? There's no heavy-duty plastic elements or anything like that inside this case. Snaps shut one way, and perhaps unnecessarily, in my opinion, snaps shut a different direction. But I love this. I love how you've got space to spread out. You've got these pockets that, again, they're a little tight. In my opinion, this is the main Achilles heel of all these kind of cases. These pockets leave very little room to put additional tools in there. But if we were to take our conventional picks, maybe we'll even grab a couple more. Let's bring our thick-handled ones into the mix. Hell, I might even grab something out of my gear kit, like a file or some, forensic tweezers or something like that. What can we meaningfully put in a Finch case? So right there, first point, you can get 2 sort of, we'll call them conventional handle style picks in each of these little pockets, okay? Again, I'm not the biggest fan of something that's that tight a fit. That'll eventually start to loosen up and work its way a little bit stretchy over time. But if you've got your Jimmy Long's handles, where are they going? Again, maybe you can get a couple in here. Ugh. Yeah, little, again, like feasible, but in my opinion, a lot of these pockets could be better served if they didn't have as much stitching. That's just one of my takes. For example, if I want to pack my DDC card, which is an essential thing in a lot of field kits. It's made to fit everywhere. Now I made it to fit in your wallet. But the first thing I would almost absolutely do if this were my case, you're going to see me getting back here and pulling out these little stitches because I want at least one pouch that I could stick a card down in. So yeah, right there, absolutely. Major improvement right off the hop, being able to drop that in. As far as something like the tweezers, I reach for these constantly. Can we fit an impressioning file down in there? Not quite. Might have to do a little chopperoo on the handle on that one. All right, so we could fit a fair complement of tools in here. I do like that it's kind of got this double size to it. Flipper down. Yeah, you know, I don't mind that at all. A little follow-up, in talking to Darnell, the one who's producing this, I learned something. These little snaps are ostensibly meant to wrap around so that you could make a sort of wearable version. If you wanted this to be on your arm while doing work on a job, you can back it around just like that, reach your tools, pull them in and out. I have seen people who used to use magnetic sort of slaps on their arm. They would work with a pick, they'd slap it here, they'd pull it off. I remember someone in New York City did that when we were liberating a lot of love locks that were cluttering up the Brooklyn Bridge. But neat idea. It stays on there pretty well. It doesn't slip around. Yeah, it's kind of a fun concept. You know, I do have another thought about these snaps for the closures. From a practical standpoint, if you have this flapped shut and then it is closed this way, a long flap is not coming out. In my opinion, this whole flap, you could eliminate all these snaps. You could cut it off so this flap is cut off to about this length. And down here, you would have mating snaps, and that would be it. So imagine if this case were a flap that came down like about this size, you flip it down once, and you fold it, and all you would do is snap it right here. That would be probably enough for a lot of people. It's an interesting idea. I think at the very least, you know what you could do with this case, honestly what Ghost Concepts could do, would be to swap this snap and this snap. That leaves people the freedom, if they want, they could chop the case down, they could even pry these snaps out if they don't want them, and then these two would be ready to rock as an enclosure right out of the box. That's my biggest suggestion that I would have for Ghost Concepts. That, and maybe, I know it's a lot harder to do the stitching this way, maybe make some of these pockets with a little bit more space in them, especially these little guys right up front. I would make those just have a little bit of a bump. Now, of course, you're going to get a little bit of a puckering down at the seam if you do that here, but in my opinion, a little more room is worth it. What other changes would you make to a case like this? Some people have shown it to you around the shop. They said, well, I would love if this space up here was some kind of panel, either a clear window that you could have identifying cards or other things thrown into, you know, a little ID card holder, maybe if you have a license or something from a certain state. I would love at least one little kind of very flat pocket where I could slide a couple of small bypass tools in, like the easy decoders or comb picks or other things like that. Literally a pocket this size is all you would need anywhere up here on this extra flat material. Obviously, if I'm thinking for what I'm thinking, I wouldn't want it up above this line right here because I would trim that off. But yeah, a little pocket right here, a little ID card holder right here. And you got a sewing machine, you can make those kind of additions yourself. I might do that for the next one of these that I play with. But there you go. The more you know. You're getting to a case that, again, is going to hold more than sort of your bifold case like this, but do so in a way that I think is just a lot more comfortable because the whole thing has a little bit of flex and softness, but you know, you're not going to be bending the tool. So do I think this case has potential? Yes. Would I like to see it maybe in a few other colors? Also, sure, why not? I'm sure they could make this in loads of material. You could get all the Tactical Gray Man people who want this, or you could have bright, vibrant colors. Hell, give me a Pride Month edition with, you know, rainbows and stuff on it. But overall, this is not bad if you want to keep yourself constrained to a slim profile, but not have the whole thing become a rigid brick that really, in my opinion, is very uncomfortable in pockets. For what I've seen here, I think this is really, really nice, principally because of that flexibility and the softness. If you like it, tell me about it down below. If you'd like to see a change to it, tell me that too. They did send me a pair of them, so one of these is going to be the giveaway. I'll give you the unmodified one without stitching removed, and if you want to do what you want with it, let me know how it works for you. All right, there you have it, the Finch case. Nothing is perfect, obviously. I had to do a little bit of tweaking on this one to make it exactly what I would use, but it's better than many, again, just because it's compact. That's the biggest thing for me. And flexible. Please, dear God, do what they're doing at Ghost Concepts. Make your pick cases thin and flexible. If you're using leather, use a single ply of leather. If you're using Cordura or other fabric like this nylon, use a single piece of it. Picks are made of metal. They can handle being knocked around in a tool bag a little bit. They're not going to bend and break. If you manage to bend and break them, yell at me down in the comments about why I'm wrong and stupid. But speaking of down there, I mentioned the giveaway. Yeah, going to give away one of these. I'm keeping the other one to use for a little while, and then eventually it'll be a giveaway during an RTA class, I'm sure. But I want to, I want to carry it for a while. I want to have it in my bag for a while, travel with it for a while, see how it holds up. But I predict everything I've seen, it's going to be pretty great. Let me know if you find them anywhere in the field. If you buy one, try them, use them. Again, this is not sponsored in any real meaningful way. I don't care what you buy. I don't care what you use. But I did like what was happening here because, thank God, it's thin and lightweight and flexible. Keep doing that, people, and keep on staying safe out there, okay?